Well, I guess it's only fair,
Your narrator for today's ceremony. Today, the men and women of the United States Air Force, in keeping with one of the oldest traditions of military service, pay special tribute to Major Bobby Greene on the occasion of his retirement after more than 15 years of dedicated service. The presiding officer for today's ceremony is Major Greene's wife and PhD candidate at the Air Force Institute of Technology, Lieutenant Colonel Greene. Before the official party arrives, I would like to remind you that during the playing of the national anthem, military members should stand at attention. Sing the glory and sound of heaven, raise the golden blue and shield with voices to rock up for Notre Dame. We will fight in every game, strong of heart and true to our name. We will never forget to laugh, but cheer ever loyal to Notre Dame. Cheer, cheer for old Notre Dame. Wake up the echoes cheering her name. Send the volley cheer on high. Shake down the thunder from the sky. Under what though the odds be great or small, old Notre Dame will win over all. While her loyal sons are marching onward to victory. Cheer, cheer for old Notre Dame.
God, country, and Notre Dame. With that, let's pray. Lord, thank you for this day and the meaning it has for the Greene family and friends. Thank you for the safety and travel you gave to those coming from Colorado, Texas, and other points across the states. You have told us that those who will be greatest must be servants, and that Jesus came to be served, not to be served, but to serve. Thank you for giving Bobby a heart to serve, not only as an Air Force officer, but also as a husband and a father. As he starts another chapter outside the Air Force, please make your spirit even stronger, and may your word be a lamp to Bobby's feet and a light to his path. Finally, please bless those who are deployed or serving away from their families. Please bring them home safely when their mission is complete. In Jesus' name, amen.
Well, I second that prayer. Bobby is a good dude, for sure. And thank you, Major Lewis, for that prayer. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. At this time, we would like to extend a very special welcome to Major Greene's family, beginning with his wife, Lieutenant Colonel Greene, his sons, Michael and Brady, his lovely daughter, Miss Abigail Greene, his father, Lieutenant Colonel Greene, retired, his mother, Miss Irene Greene, his father-in-law, Lieutenant Colonel Bob Wynn, retired, his mother-in-law, Mrs. Kathleen Wynn, and his brother-in-law, Mr. Eric Wynn. Also present are his cousin, Lieutenant Colonel Mark Greene, and his wife, Miss Amy Greene, and their daughter, Izzy Greene. they are, do we have the first one? We'll maybe make a guest appearance here in a little bit. Okay, so the first one that we have is Mr. Sean Fulcher, his high school friend. I'm sorry, his college friend. I did practice. Major Buddy Lewis, a fellow C-17 pilot. Major Mike Lewis and Lieutenant Colonel Kent Freeman, both C-17 pilots. Mr. Joel Epley, also a C-17 pilot. And I believe it is only proper to mention that I am here. I'm also a C-17 pilot for my friend Bobby's. Thank you all for traveling so far to share this occasion with the Team Greene. We also extend a very warm welcome to our Air Force distinguished guests joining us this morning, Colonel Henderson and Colonel Scott Hornsby. Finally, last but not least, thank you to all the friends and coworkers in attendance. We are so glad you could join us all for today's ceremony. Tradition. As our fellow Air Force members retired, the men and women of the United States Air Force pause to pay special tribute to Major Greene's notable and accomplished career. It is my distinct pleasure to introduce the presiding officer for today's ceremony, Lieutenant Colonel Kara Greene.
So knowing the way retirements or promotions or any military ceremony usually goes, they talk about the family. So obviously Bobby's wife, amazing. Goes without saying, but we've got three wonderful, wonderful kiddos. And when we talk about Team Greene, which is how we always introduce ourselves, it really is a team. There's times that we do something for Mikey and not for the other two, but they're still there supporting them. Every decision we make, we always do it together, and you guys are awesome. And without you guys, Mommy and Daddy won't be able to do what we do. So thank you. You guys are awesome. And then I also want to point out yet again all of our out-of-town friends. Family, friends, that's pretty much one and the same to us. Once you become our friends, you're also part of our family. So that's going to be a trend that you see through what I'm saying, or I have a feeling of what Bobby's going to end up saying. It really, truly is. You become part of our family. So I could keep going on, but we're going to try and keep it somewhat short. So I went through all of Bobby's OPERS and performance reports, the awards, the decorations, to try and see what should I talk about. And, you see a lot of the same things over and over. First of all, 3,400 flying hours. I think that's pretty impressive. It's something I love to do. We both love the C-17. It's in our blood now. And 3,400 hours, over 340 combat hours, and 190 NVG hours. So all that stuff is stuff we accumulated during operational flying at McCord and then also at Altus, the training base. But, we saw number 1 of 3 U.S. CENTCOM officers, number 2 of 9 FGOs. He got FGO of the year, of the quarter twice. He got Squadron CGO, Group CGO of the quarter. We got number 3 of 36, number 5. So I could go through all those, right? But really, when you think about a career, particularly a retirement, what is the career all about, right? What's it mean to you? And so it's interesting. I've talked to other people about what they are proud of in their career. And a lot of times they'll talk about the mission and what they've done. But what Bobby talked about, and I think Buddy can attest to this because he was there last night when we were talking, it was all about friends. I heard, yeah, there were a couple cool things I did, but it was really about the people he's met and the people that have affected him and touched him along the way. And you can see that by this group of guys that has come here to join us. So talking about some of it, going back actually to the awards and the performance reports, it's not often that you actually see stuff written in them. You usually see the little bullet format. But things I saw was a go-to officer, an extraordinary supervisor, an outstanding officer, rapid upgrade, a solid contributor, unit cohesion, interpersonal skills, not just me, to resolve conflicts and increase team unity. A team player, dedicated and honest to a fault. That's something that you don't exactly expect to see. Stepped up when I really needed him. So little things like that really stand out and shows you what has been important throughout his career. His career did start at Notre Dame. I didn't pick up at that. We're both Notre Dame grads, Irish. And so during that time, you know, of course, there's the basketball that he did and the friends that he made there. But it's really where our friendship started. But also we realized how important friendship is to all of us. Going on to Schriever, once again, that was his casual assignment. No, wasn't there? It was Toby McCurran was at Schriever. So that's a name that has been in our career, keeps coming back, Toby McCurran. Going on to pilot training, that's where he first met Darren. So Darren's been here and then he goes away and then he comes back again. So,
Give her to me.
so it's interesting, like I said, Bobby did talk a little bit about some of the things that he remembered about each station that he had. And one of them was that he failed his first book test in pilot training, the physio test. Failed it. It was one of those. Okay, they're all laughing over there. So he said, what am I going to do now? Am I even going to make this? And obviously, he's done pretty darn well for himself. He wanted fighters, okay? He said that's what he wanted. In fact, that's what we both wanted. And we both decided, even though we were engaged at the time, to put down fighters and let's go for it. And we both got T1s. And it's a blessing in disguise for both of us. I think the community fits us both and fits Team Greene much better than we had thought it would. And then I got C-17s to McCord, and so Bobby's flight commander goes up to him and goes, okay, pressure's on. You've got a check ride. If you want C-17s, you got to show. So he actually got his first excellent on his nav check in pilot training, and that's pretty much, we had joint spouse, but that got the only C-17 to McCord that was in his draw, got it to his base. And then from there, he was able to earn it because he stepped up to the plate, as usual. Going to McCord, some things that he remembers there is Southern Watch mission. He was delayed in Rhoda. Well, he was supposed to get back on time so that way we could get married, right? And it's interesting because we were talking about this last night, and I know Buddy had a similar situation and Mark had a similar situation. So I don't know if it's a C-17 thing that you almost miss your wedding due to being on a mission, but it's just a trend I noticed. 9/11, he was flying in and out of Nicaragua, Nigeria. And then he actually landed in Rhoda, Spain, and they found out about what happened at 9/11, which changed, I'm sure, all of our lives significantly. Found out about it over HF radios. So we heard about it. A general was talking to some aide over HF radios and told them about 9/11, what had happened, and they landed at Rhoda and they were in Delta. And, you know, he was grounded for 3 or 4 days there before they were able to fly home. Living the life at Camp Snoopy. It's going to make some of this group over here smile. That was prior to IED. That was Camp Snoopy. He did a low level into Baghdad. That's where we started C-17 flying. That's how we all started it. He was one of the initial MVG assault instructors for the 8th Airlift Squadron, which is pretty impressive. One of the other missions that he's proud of from there is the airdrop of the 173rd. The stats, just because I was looking at all these things, I might as well. Insertion of 2,175 combat forces, 6 million pounds of cargo, 408 combat vehicles, 100% reliability, and it opened the critical northern front in Iraq. He helped with mission planning, he helped in the operation. His actual part was 196,000 pounds and 37 troops. Got him into their MVG, into a small field, and you know, you're never quite sure how all that's going to happen. So that is something very special to both of us since we were both out there. One of the things that I know I remember from his operational missions was us talking HF radios. So our first year after 9/11 of being married, I was home 50 days out of the year, and he was there for 25 of them. Now I'm not going to complain because I know Army has it worse. But I remember what we would do. We would pick an HF frequency, and we'd meet up on that frequency crossing the ocean going opposite directions. It happened on several occasions until other guys found out about the HF freak, and then we had to start switching which freak we were on so they could track us down. So that was one of my memorable experiences. And then also the USO tour. I love this one. So Bobby calls me. He had flown into, I believe it was Afghanistan, back in Iraq.
From Bagram to the house.
Okay. And was just so proud. He's like, I got to do a USO tour, which is kind of fun because you get sort of the benefits of USO and you get the one-on-one. People's like, oh, well, who? He's like, oh, well, it's General Tommy Franks and this and that. Oh, but Mr. Belding from Saved by the Bell. And he went off on Mr. Belding. I was like, so General Franks? No? Okay then. So he was so proud of that one. And that's probably one of my most memorable things from Bobby's missions. But then once again, after talking through that, he went back to his friends. He went back to Mark, Buddy, and Mike. Mark actually lived with us for about a month before Amy moved out there. And so it was awesome having family live with us. And then, like I said, our friends become family. So Mike and Buddy, they were playing basketball. Do you do football up there too? Is that just out football? So it became family and friends. And speaking of family and friends, we happen to have our final visitor finally arrived. So come on in, Eric Partridge. So Eric Partridge is Bobby's high school buddy that has been around, best friend, been around since, goodness, a very long time. So he made it out just in time. Thanks, Eric. But going back to friends, so Mike, Buddy, Mark, and of course that's where Mikey was born. One of our most memorable parts about McCord. Going into Altus real quick, best assignment, crappy location, best mission, best friends, even better friends. And I would agree with every single thing that we said there. That's where he agrees he became the best pilot he's been. You do assault, you do NVG, you do airdrop, you do air refueling, you do it all, and you do it every single day. And it becomes second nature. And it really was an absolutely horrible location, but amazing mission. And part of the mission was the friends and family that we had there. That once again was Mike and Buddy, so Joel and Kent. It was awesome having that group around and making it very special. He was...
And Greene, I was there too.
So, they did the rodeo there, which was a big exercise, I guess, for lack of a better word, where competition where you bring C-17 crews. I think there are also 130 crews there from all the different bases. You go and you just see who can do each mission the best. Bobby was the team lead for C-17s from McCord. And they won the best C-17 crew and the best C-17 AR crew. And that's one of the things, that was one of the things that I know stood out to him and also stood out to me, of the amount of dedication that he really put into that mission. It was pretty impressive. MAFX is another thing that we had. It was a large formation of both C-130s, C-17s, and I'm sure Mike could go off on this and all the other aircraft that also get involved. But that's really what we knew about. Bobby's first lead upgrade was there, and he was our mission planner, and Mike was actually at the WIC. So weapons instructor course, planning it on the other end. So it's always fun when you're able to go back to those memories. Poker Fridays there at Altus were always amazing. Intramural football champions. They're very, very proud of that. You can tell the group's getting older when. And then, of course, Abby was born there. Can't go wrong there. We moved to the academy after that. And ironically, he's like, yeah, we gotta be closer to home in Colorado and family, but more importantly, Partridge. So he was there. It's interesting, once again, the further he got in his career, the more and more he talked about the people and the friends. So he talked about his buddy Greene. We had 2 cadets that we had sponsored and sort of have brought up. We're actually their daughter's godparents, and I don't know where Josh got this idea, but he's flying C-17s now. So we might have had a little bit of influence there. But they're amazing. The fantasy football teams that he's gotten there, and the group of people there has just made the mission where he was working DOV soft suit amazing. And then, of course, Brady. You were born there, right? Yeah. And then he came to A1. And it's interesting, or A3, sorry, the position was originally in A1. But he helped stand up the position that he that he came into here. And that was something special that he was able to do it. He was very proud of the HBO program and the career broadening. The fact that the first test pilot in years to be selected for material commander happened, material leader, happened while he was here. So that's pretty impressive. He reconnected with Darren, who I've ignored for years. Reconnected with Darren, which I know has been very special. And then I think I'll end it with what he actually said about A3 and the people he's worked with here is the best bunch of civilians I've ever worked with. So that's Bobby's career.
There have been some others.
So that's Bobby's career in a nutshell.
Colonel Greene. Major Greene, please join Lieutenant Colonel Greene at center stage. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the award of the Meritorious Service Medal. Attention orders. Citation to accompany the award of the Meritorious Service Medal, 2nd Oblique Cluster. Major Robert T. Greene distinguished himself in the performance of outstanding service to the United States as Chief, Command-Rated Assignments, Operations Support Division, Director of Air, Space, and Information Operations, Headquarters Air Force Material Command, Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, Ohio. During this period, the outstanding skill, leadership, and ceaseless effort of Major Greene resulted in major contributions to the effectiveness and success of the Command-Rated Assignments function across the command. Major Greene led actions for the command's acquisition career broadening, identifying the command's premier aviators for development to become senior material leaders. Additionally, he crafted the rated manpower metric presentation tracking over 330 key developmental test positions, vital to the success of acquisition programs valued at over $9 billion. Furthermore, he forged a test pilot school graduate assignment process to precisely match test requirements with high band assets, placing the right aviator in the right mission at the right time. Finally, Major Greene led preparation and execution of the command's Operations Squadron Commander Board, flawlessly screening records and administering the board processes, ensuring the most qualified officers are chosen for command. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Major Greene culminate a distinguished career in the service of his country and reflect great credit on himself and the United States Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the reading of the retirement orders.
Publish the order.
Attention orders. The Department of the Air Force, Washington, D.C., Special Order Number Alpha Charlie 014631. Effective 31 December 2014, you are relieved from active duty, organization and station of assignment. Retired effective 1 January 2015 for AFI 363203 by order of the Secretary of the Air Force. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Retirement from the Armed Forces of the United States of America. To all who shall see these presents greetings. This is to certify that Major Bobby Greene, having served faithfully and honorably, is retired from the United States Air Force on the first day of January 2015. Signed, General Welch, Chief of Staff of the Air Force, and General Wolfenbarger, Commander, Air Force Material Command. Major Greene, in addition to the retirement certificate, we are pleased to present you with a certificate of appreciation from the President of the United States, which reads in part, I extend to you my personal thanks and sincere appreciation of a grateful nation for your contribution of honorable service to our country. Your commitment and dedication have been an inspiration for those who will follow in your footsteps and for all Americans who join me today in saluting you for a job extremely well done. My best wishes to you for happiness and success in the future. Signed, President Barack Obama, Commander-in-Chief. Now we ask that you please pin your husband's official retirement pin to his lapel. The pin indicates he is still a member of the Air Force, but now serves in retired status. Major Greene, please wear this pin proudly on any occasion in which you may represent the United States Air Force. Lieutenant Colonel Greene, we have a presentation for you as well.
Giving thanks back.
Major Greene is presenting to his wife a certificate of appreciation signed by General Welsh, Chief of Staff of the Air Force, and by General Wilkemarter, Commander, Air Force Imperial Command, which reads, in grateful appreciation, the United States Air Force presents this certificate of recognition to Kara Greene for the commitment and numerous contributions that made positive impact to the nation's defense. Thank you for your support, which gave strength and purpose to your spouse's service. Major Lewis, Major Martins, and Lieutenant Colonel Mark Greene, please come forward for the Shadow Box presentation.
All right, so I need help with this one. The items in this shadow box represent his career and highlight his many accomplishments. All right, so I've got a little bit of a presentation to talk about through some of this. So it says Team Greene Formation Lead on it, Major Bobby Greene. But more importantly, I want Bobby to realize where this flag has been. I told Bobby I wanted to take care of this. I just said, let me do my thing. And he kept saying, could we make sure? Let me do my thing. And this is what I did, and hopefully this is what you're looking for. Let's go over to Mark, she's got all the certificates. So this flag has been everywhere Bobby's career has been. Bobby's career started at Notre Dame. Janet Million, our secretary there, she took good care of us. The flag went up and down the flagpole, and Janet sent you a shirt to say congratulations. So it went up and down the flagpole at Notre Dame. After Notre Dame, Bobby got a nice little casual assignment over at Schriever Air Force Base, Colorado, which of course we all love. And my former boss, and hopefully future boss, Colonel Barlow, head of DFAN, actually happened to know the base commander at Schriever. So we got it flown up and down at Schriever. After Schriever, Bobby went over to Vance Air Force Base for pilot training. And one of our friends from Altus, Dave Patterson, happens to be a T1 instructor, reserve T1 instructor over at Vance. So we got him to fly it in a T1 student sortie. After Vance, we went up to McCord. So up at McCord, this is a little bit longer here. Doug Hollingsworth, a loadmaster that is currently in the 8th Airlift Squadron that we have both flown with, coordinated with Doug Kuhn, a loadmaster we have both flown with that is currently in the 7th Airlift Squadron, my squadron from McCord, flew a mission with the flag downrange. So we've got the entire mission history in the book here, but if we go on to the next one, I want you guys to realize this is one of the great things about not flying C-17s anymore. We always like to remember the good stuff, but okay, TACC planned the 3rd day over a 16-hour duty day without the required leg lengths. Yay! And then, if you go to the next one, It's never good when the mission history goes on to the continuation page, or for long ones. So you like this, continued after 9 hours at the jet. The fuel quantity tube dashed out once again. Day was called after 10 hours at the jet. CCU-1 also failed. A one-time flight waiver are never good, one-time flight waivers. After 3 days, I love this one, after 3 days, maintenance decided on a fix and ordered a part directly from Boeing. After day 4, with a 2-day estimate for the part arrival, they were finally released to deadhead home. The deadhead didn't work, so they ended up actually TRing, in other words, civilian flight home, which is next to impossible to get. So it was a really horrible mission. But the important thing is the mission did go, the flag was there. The mission actually, it went to IUD, if we go to the next one, IUD, all the places that we've been, Incirlik, Kuwait, Ramstein, Rhineline, now Frankfurt, but Baghdad as well. So we've got a picture here of the crew that flew it, and despite a horrible mission, of course, crews always have fun together, right? But more importantly, they flew the flag every single time and loaded. So there's your flag flying downrange. After McCord, we then went to the most amazing assignment we've had probably, was Altus Air Force Base. Lieutenant Colonel, sorry, Dave. Lieutenant Colonel Dave Taylor flew it on a 2-ship MVG airdrop. You can see right there, they're signing the mission data card. It flew on the second pass out on the heavy MVG airdrop. And here it is, actually going out of the aircraft. So you can see the drogue chute coming out. And there's your heavy pallet with your flag on it. So that flag has been dropped at Sooner DZ. Sooner DZ. All right, so after Altus, we then went to the Air Force Academy. At the Air Force Academy, we both flew the T-53. So we had T-53 fly it with Mayo. And then he also was, since he was assigned at the Academy, got to fly the T-41 with the cadet flying team. He flew the T-41 as well. Now, if you guys don't remember, or actually I don't think I even mentioned it, while he was at the Academy, he actually flew to Eskimo Village. He deployed to Saudi Arabia in Eskimo Village. Well, my dear friend Emily over here, her husband happens to be deployed to Eskimo Village in Saudi Arabia. So, we gotta sort of go to another map here real quick. I'm going to zoom in. I'm going to zoom in again. Eskimo Village in Saudi Arabia, right about there. It was actually flown there. You can see the certificate here. It's actually, it's a security forces squadron now. And there it is, actually flying in Saudi Arabia. And Dave has a coating from Saudi Arabia for you. So, flew in there. Then we came back, or he came back, I was still there. Came back to the Academy. And from the Academy, we ended up here at Wright-Patt. So from Wright-Patterson, as I'm sure you all know, he deployed to CENTCOM. I did really, really well at not bringing that up. I just want to say that. So he went down to CENTCOM, got it flown by one of our Notre Dame alum down there, flew it down at CENTCOM. You're asking me to remember a name from the class. I keep wanting to say Woody, but that's from the class. Anyway, so down at CENTCOM. And then fittingly, I believe, after CENTCOM, he came back here to finish up not only his assignment and his tour, but also his military, active duty military career here at Wright-Patterson. So I think on the 5th of December, it was flown here at Wright-Patterson. So that is the story of not only Bobby, but also the flag, and everywhere it has been.
That trip, and I see a tax-free too.
All right. A little thing that I've been putting together for a while here. If we could, there we go, thanks. So, I have been putting together, I had emailed, I'm going to say, emailed, Facebook messaged, I even snail mailed a couple it was probably about 150, maybe even 200 people. And I just said, hey, please send Bobby something, a letter of thanks, memories, whatever you want. And I have to give a quick shout out, thank you to Safa and Nadal Judah. Everything that I did here and what the kids did has been sent to their house. Every time the flag came back to me has been sent to their house. So they've been helping me nonstop, and I'm sure their mailman is, okay, should have given him a Christmas gift. But we have created a retirement binder. And so just looking through it briefly, the family put together several pictures. We can go through that part later. But we've got letters from your parents, my parents. There's pictures, there's letters, uncles, aunts, cousins, my cousin, aunt, brother-in-law, you see Jeannie John. We've got high school friends. We've got one of his goddaughters is in there. She sent a special one. We've got more high school. We've got college friends that have sent stuff in. We've got college. We've got just friends from throughout the military, our time together, just about every single time. Yep. Close friends that have memories from the very beginning of his military career until now. It's pretty special. It was awesome. It was awesome getting all these and receiving them and realizing how much, that's weird, how much not only have people affected him, but he's affected people. It really is impressive. And we're going to have this out there if anyone wants to look through it or anyone who's coming over the house later. We're going to have it all out there. Commanders. We had two of our Altus commanders, Colonel Eid and Metzger, both, and this is commander. So we don't get to look at that yet?
I saw it.
Okay. So that's something that we've been putting together with everyone's help here. So thank you to everyone. Thank you again for always collecting our mail. And there's your retirement gift. Kiddos come up. So I asked the kids, hey, do you guys want to get something for, come on up, sweetie. Yep, you go get the bag. Do you want to get something for Daddy for his retirement? Of course, I said, yeah. So we were talking, I was like, okay, well, what's important to both of you guys? And I think that the answer is pretty clear, Notre Dame. Right? And so I got to tell the story real quick. Because Mikey's like, oh, well, maybe we could get Coach Kelly to sign a football for Dad. I was like, it's worth a shot. If you don't ask, the answer's no. So I used a friend who's getting his PhD there. And then I used one of my classmates that is teaching the civil engineering department, and his wife who's in the first year of studies. And I called the football office and I sent in a letter, and it's in the binder if anyone wants to read it. I sent cute pictures of the kids in Notre Dame gear. I tried, and they're like, yeah, Coach Kelly's not doing that. Like, okay, well, maybe we could do the basketball team. That'd be kind of cool. Okay, because Bobby and Mikey definitely follow Notre Dame basketball as well. So then why don't you guys go ahead and start getting it out and giving it to Dad. So then I before just sending a letter to the basketball team, I should have known better. Should have gone to the secretary in the first place. So I call up Janet, our ROTC secretary. So Janet, thank you so much. She's like, okay, Coach Kelly, I did my best. I sold you guys. We'll see if it works out. Basketball team, secretary's waiting. So we have a basketball signed by not only Coach Gray, but also the team. And a football signed by Coach Kelly. Oh, wow. Huge thank you to Janet for greasing the skids for us and making it happen. I wasn't sure if it was going to, and it's something that the kids wanted to do for you. So, very special. And that's what I have.
Mr. Birdwell, or A3, come on.
Hey, guys, can you sit back down?
So, I'm Dee Dee, I work with Bobby. I am not a C-17 pilot.
She does tell us what to do all the
Yeah,
time.
Bobby gets the fortune, he's fortunate to work with about, we counted him up, 7 air traffic controllers in his office. And there's 2 pilots, just 2, well, then you guys over now. And then Darren, of course, he comes by. So we try to show him a little love. Today we showed you a little love. Had it out for Bobby. Real quick, and we have a tradition in our office. We give everyone an Air Force times before they leave. And I wanted to let you know, we're not going to do our normal thing because we do a little song and dance with it, but I'm not going to do that right now. Maybe a little later at Bobby's house. But we wanted to let you know we didn't forget you, and so everybody can look at it out there. But
This isn't, and there's a Michigan somewhere.
is that Michigan? I thought that was. Wow, okay, see, I didn't know Bobby didn't like Michigan. Anyway, yeah. Yeah, I'm not really sure how that got there. Anyway, so we'll take a look at this a little later. And, but anyway, get your Hilton. You have your teeth in? We have one gift from us. And so we didn't have any cute little kids to send to.
Don't sell yourself short.
But Bobby, just really seriously, Bobby is a great guy, and he is a people person. I like to think of him as a diplomat. When he deployed, I had to take over a lot of his duties, and it was a lot of work. And I realized how much of a diplomat he was, because I was, you know, every now and then I hang up the phone and I say some things that probably shouldn't be said. But Bobby never did that. He was always just a great guy. You're a cool dude, Bobby. We're really gonna miss you. Really. So this is from A3. This is signed. I'm pretty sure at one point someone on here will be famous. And yeah, probably. So A3, it's been a ball, Bobby. And you know, the Air Force symbol and all that and whatnot. But this is for you.
So we have another tradition for guys that do a lot of hard work, is presenting a right flyer to Bobby on his way out. It symbolizes all that you've done, which is quite a bit. You came in here, I know it was something you always wanted to do, is be in the staff of A1 or A3. And he got here and got thrown in A3 with Mr. Conrad, our crusty retired chief. And I'm sure he was thinking, geez, I'm glad to be here now after that. But he took over rated assignments and was really the first full-time person doing that. And he made it a process for A3 and has stabilized it and made it what it is, and it's a success. The same thing with Test Eagle, which is a squadron commander selection process, and with HPO, which was brainchild of one of the folks, and has made that work. And of course, we had the first kind of graduate go into the senior leader job. I'm sure there'll be more. And Bobby's done all that. I know he was sacrificing going to MacDill and everything, but he really was there for Dee Dee and the rest of us when we needed help or had questions and so forth. And he's done that, and we certainly appreciate it. So we have this Major Robert, what's that?
Go Irish?
Irish. Greene. And I really do like Bobby, but kind of comments about Oklahoma, that's my home state. But I know Altus is kind of enough. Anyway, Airspace and Information Operations Director, Chief Rated Assignments from, 30 July 2012 till tomorrow. You'll be in at 8 tomorrow.
7:30 actually.
And the comment is a little more serious than I've been, but it's meets the need here. In duty we met, in honor we serve, in friendship we remain. So thanks for your service, and best of luck. Promoted to retired dude.
I now present to you Major Bobby Greene, retired.
All right, my turn. I've been through see General Thornton's and Colonel Dumpke, so got to see the pluses and minuses of retirement and all that stuff and the ceremonies. So one thing I did know was to write stuff down. And always, make sure you thank people first, because otherwise you might forget. So before I get rolling too much, as far as people setting up the ceremony, Darren, thank you so much for narrating. Like Kara said, I've known Darren for since the beginning of pilot training, and our paths have crossed throughout the years, and here again at AFMC. So thanks very much for narrating today. Your friendship, and it's been great.
Congratulations on your promotion.
Yes, I forgot. Darren is getting promoted tomorrow, so his ceremony is tomorrow as well. Congratulations.
High probability.
Real big thanks to the AFIT team, Nadal and Safa for filming and apparently getting lots of mail. Emily for taking the photos. Charlie and Chris for ushering and helping out in general with stuff, and Tim in the back. And Steve ushering as well, and Tim doing all the multimedia stuff in the back, which we'll do some more here. Sergeant Newts, one of the finest senior NCOs I've ever had the pleasure to work with. Thank you very much for proffering today. Much appreciated. Colonel Henderson, Colonel Orchard, thank you for attending today. Really do appreciate it. I always love helping A3F and safety as much as I could. More on this wonderful lady in a little bit, but as far as the ceremony goes, I barely did anything. Kara gave me instructions and asked me questions, but despite getting a PhD, running a family, and she put this all together. It's been amazing. So thanks. No more on you, man. Big shout out to my parents, Bob and Irene, Dad and Mom. They traveled from Colorado to be here, and my dad is he's a retired lieutenant colonel, old Army grunt, artillery guy. Very special to have him here, and I really do appreciate it. Thank you for everything. And more on my mom in a second here too. Kathy and Bob, where's Kathy?
Bobby.
Brady.
My father-in-law, a fellow pilot as well, engineer now, but he served over 20 years in the Air Force. Another one of my mentors, and just an all-around great guy, very fun to be around. My brother-in-law, Eric, he, with a little smirk over there on his face, he's our kid back in. It's just kind of go to him. So, Eric, thanks for being here. Mark and Amy, very special having you guys out here. It's kind of cool getting stationed with your cousin, and actually getting to fly with him too once. Me and Mark did a local together back in McCoy once, and it was. He did send me around once. I disagreed with his call, but I still did it. Thanks for all the surprises I got today. I had asked Mike to do the invocation, and he agreed. And so I thought he was coming out, but then he emailed me 2 weeks ago and had to lie to me, saying he works for General McDew at AMC, and said that they had a TDY that came up and he wouldn't be able to make it. And then, of course, this morning, Mike and Jenny and all the kids show up at my doorstep. Very blessed to have you guys here. Thanks. Buddy, Kent, and Mr. Epley, was it? Lieutenant Colonel Joel Epley. Also an LC-17 pilot. They, all three of them showed up last night. Flew with them at Altus and Buddy and McCord as well. I'm very blessed and happy to have you guys here. I was very, very surprised to see you, and it was a wonderful surprise. Sean, I call him Zippy. You get a nickname in college, and your college buds can never get away from that. So, Sean Polsher, aka Zippy, thanks for coming, dude. Awesome to have you here as well. Sean was an 8-year intel officer in the Air Force. Before getting out and going back to Notre Dame to get his MBA. So, and Partridge, awesome to have you. I wasn't sure if you might be able to make it, but again, I just looked it up to this lady. But I've known Eric since 1993. 93. That's the first time I took it to him on the basketball court.
First and only time.
Now that Kathy's back, I do want to give something, the blue ribbons, both. Being a dual military couple, you rely a lot on other people. As much as Karen and I like to help other folks out and give what we can, there's two ladies who, whenever I was deployed, or Karen was gone, or we needed some help with the kids and whatnot, Kathy and my mom both were always jumping at the chance. So thank you very much. I almost let it go there, but following Dee Dee's advice and clenching, I do clenching. The second to last group I want to thank A3 overall, but especially A3OA, Terry, Gus, Dee Dee, BG, and Kurt. If he were here, he just. I'm the only military guy in a group of civilians, but it just feels like, I would compare it to any squadron that I worked with, operational or not. It was such a blast working with all you guys. Gus was my sponsor when I got here. Always very enjoyable. Staff work is never enjoyable, but coming to work with those individuals made it really easy. So thank you guys. For your counsel and your friendship, and I'll be stopping back by to have Chinese, going out to lunch with you guys. So, and that takes us to the most important folks, and I'll start off with the kids. So, those in the back. So, start off with Mike, because he's the oldest. You turn around, everybody can see you. Smile. He's our 9-year-old. Like Tara said, he was born in McCord. He loves everything Notre Dame, loves to play basketball and football and soccer. He's really good at everything. Sometimes has trouble controlling his emotions, but other than that, I couldn't be prouder of this kid. When we need help, he's the oldest, so he gets stuck with a lot of the BS. And he takes the brunt of a lot of our complaining, so Michael, thank you. That's for you. And Miss Abigail here, our ray of sunshine. I don't want her to get a big head, but she really doesn't do anything wrong. She smiles, she gives you magical hugs, and just is wonderful, wonderful to have around. And so, she's a great dancer and a great gymnast. And last, and definitely not least, our little firecracker, Greene Connor. He had just started soccer, and he rips it up with the best of them. I think he scored, 90% of your goals? Yeah. But he always smiles, always running, always jumping up and down. And that's for you, buddy. So, guys, take care of these, all right? You never lose. All right? I love you. And my wife, I don't know what to say about her. That everybody here doesn't already know. Like I said, she put this whole thing together. Team Greene does not work without Kara. Whenever I think of my career or her career, I don't I don't think of us as separate individuals. It's always been Team Greene. And she's the rock that holds us together. I mean, I joke about helping out at home, but I mean, let's be honest, I hate folding laundry. There's no way I can ever say thank you enough or love you enough to thank you for everything you've done for me, from Notre Dame throughout my career, here for retirement and in the future. But I do have some gifts for you. So with all these presentations, anything that I offer Kara is kind of insignificant, but your day is coming. In about 6 or 7 more years. Yeah. Apparently I'm going to have to start working now. Anyway, our life sometimes is just crazy. 3 kids and 2 dogs, as much as we run around with activities and careers and whatnot. But it's also fun, so I wanted to get you something that you would look at and smile at when you'd see it. So with that, this is how Team Greene started. And that's for you to hang up in your office. And you can smile at it anytime you see it.
Thank you. Haven't seen it. There we go.
I think they gave me too much hair, but
That's for kids.
yeah, that is for kids.
No more films, guys.
That covers all the thank yous. Oh, yes, flowers. See, I knew I'd get something, but couldn't let you go without getting flowers. Because I have no doubt that when your turn to retire, that you're going to give me flowers. So, I think I have here, start off with a joke. I'm sorry, Megan, I didn't mean to make you So, mixed feelings, obviously, about retirement, because it is an early retirement. But I think, as Gus said, I was below the zone to Mister. Right. Which is pretty awesome. But I think it's fair to say that, even though I am, leaving a little bit early, still retiring, but I'm finally reaching that pinnacle that every officer wants to get to, every male officer wants to get to, and that's finally becoming a military spouse. And from what I understand, it's usually Sink House is in charge, right? So I know that's a promotion. I wish I had words of wisdom to offer you, but I was telling some other friends the other day, everybody here is either outranks me or is way older than me. So, I don't know if I have any words of wisdom to offer. But yeah, definitely, a little bit of mixed feelings about retirement. It wasn't necessarily the way I wanted to do it, but I'm thankful, very thankful that I get to retire from the Air Force. We all serve for different reasons. Country, freedom, those are all great things, but when it comes down to it, as you guys have all heard a million times, and I'm not telling you guys anything new that you already know, but it's about the people, as Kara said. I'm so proud of getting the chance to serve with all these wonderful individuals, both civilian and military. It was just a real blessing, and getting to do what I did with the people that I did it has been awesome. obviously retiring early, I question whether or not I should have a ceremony, whether or not I deserve to retire, so on and so forth. And I thought about different ways you measure a career. Obviously length, the number of years you serve, that's how they legally define it, with regs and laws and whatnot. Accomplishments, which I'm very proud of all the things I've done, but you know, there's obviously many people who have done much more for this country. But the way I like to think about it is, you measure a career about the lives you've touched and the lives that have touched you. And I think of it that way. It's been immeasurable. Thank you. When I knew I was retiring, I told Kara I wanted to make my own retirement video. I didn't really talk to her about it leading up to it, and then I know she asked her mom to make a video, which thank you very much for doing that, Kathy. And we're going to play that a little bit later, and then we'll play them tonight too at the house a little bit. But I wanted to make my own and kind of, you know, yeah, it's a little bit about Team Greene, but what I talked about with the people in your career, that's kind of what I wanted to make it about. So.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us for today's retirement ceremony. Please stay and congratulate me.
Cash talks. Congratulations. Cash talks. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Good luck.
I love it. Special.
I've got more if you need them. Oh, great.
Sir?
Whoop. Awesome.
I'm sorry it lasted so long.
Oh, that was really good. Really good job.
Thank you.
I mean, you guys did very much. Good day. Mr. Parker.
Oh, they're very lovely. Great job. Well, sir. Good, good. Thank you very much. And he did.
So is Darren gonna plan a big smoochy kiss as his presiding officer?
Get it all together. No.
You want the one at the end or
Yeah.
How is that different than the other?